Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
Amount of pressure you get on a failure or not being successful is enormous if you are fully into this. So once you crack your mains, it will give you a confidence that it's only a matter of time. Why not give it another try? Because the effort needed is very, very less compared to your first attempt when you crack your mains. Then people seamlessly get through prelims and mains. Yeah, bare minimum effort is needed. See it as a job or you see it as a position or power or authority. All those matters. Okay, so personally, I feel it gives you that cushion to excel. Okay, there was one mode of entry through UPSC. Okay, there is now one more mode called a lateral entry. Otherwise, also in our service or any other service, we hire consultant. We hire if there are some technical nature of job. Railways also hires consultant or executors for that specific project. So there is no harm in getting that. So I don't think as long as
A very good morning to everybody. Ganesh IAS Academy welcomes all the aspirants and the future aspirants. So the series is about having conversations with senior bureaucrats who were like once upon a time the aspirants from our own academy to give us some insights about the civil service preparation and the kind of personality that is needed for the preparation and what one can expect from coaching institute as such and the relevance of mentoring. So to start off with, we have Saravanan sir, who is a Postmaster General from the Postal Services, who is currently working as Postmaster General in Coimbatore, like a PNG for the Western region. To give a brief insight about him, he has graduated mechanical engineering from the College of Engineering, Guindy Anna University campus, and he has went on to work for the TCS in UK for 4 years, and then from there he has resigned his work in the IT, and then he has started to prepare for the civil service examination and has cleared the examination in the very first attempt to enter into the postal services. And he's been in the service for the past 18-19 years, and today he's with us to share some insights about his own civil service journey and also to give some takeaways for us as aspirants and for a future bureaucrat like me. Thank you, sir, and we welcome you, sir.
Thanks, Bhuvanesh. Thanks for that lovely introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So before we start, I think we both share a lot of similarities, sir. So the first thing is you have done mechanical engineering, and I'm also a mechanical engineering graduate, and you have done it from Anna University, and I have done it from IIT Madras. So we both are opposite campuses.
Yeah.
And you're also from the same institute, and I'm also from the same institute. And last but not the least, I think if we take the list of bureaucrats who have gone out from the academy, I think you'll be one of the pioneers, and I'll be the last one to add below the list. So we share a lot of similarities, and it's very exciting for me to have an interaction with you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Manish.
Sir, to start off with, what made I can see that you have a strong technical background, you are from Anna University, and being an Anna University graduate in late 90s itself is something very very big, and you've got placed in TCS, you have worked in UK. So you leaving all that and coming back to civil services, what is that driving thing for you to get into civil services?
Yeah. So, okay, as you said, those days living IT job and taking up civil service, maybe very, very few people did it. But I have been following it up with the new entrants. Lately, I have seen many graduates, moving from corporate to the government sector, and the numbers have increased. Coming specifically to me, I think as you said, after doing it engineering, I thought let me try out what the market is offering. Though I had some clarity about doing civil services, but my college seniors as well as the peer group, the in thing that time was the IT sector. So it was the booming one, especially Y2K and other issue. So it offered a very attractive job per se. not as a career. So I took it as a job. Then it took me to London, as you said, for 4 years. Then came that decision point, say now to stay back with a PR or a citizenship, or come back and pursue our original plan. So I took that decision, and then I came back to take up civil services. Now, if you really want to answer whether IT is better or civil service is better, I think the canvas is bigger in civil service. You can use your IT skills or any skills for that matter, not only technology. If you're a good artist, if you're a good painter, writer, speaker, whatever talent you have, this canvas will provide you enough opportunities to pursue both official forum as well as in your personal capacity also. So I think
Okay, sir. Okay.
no technical skill will go waste if you are pursuing a civil service career. So if you literally compare the other parameters of a job and a career, then I think the next generation are very much aware of those distinctions. I think career is something which will go along with your personality, take care of your development. It's like plan your life kind of thing. Whereas job is something short term. Okay, you can keep on moving job, but I think you should not keep on changing your career after a particular age. So once that distinction is there, I think you will take that right decision.
Okay. Okay. Sir, this is something I want to ask this question as a representative of like my generation.
Yeah.
Sir, like whatever like the aspirants that I've seen like for the 6 years of my civil service journey, I've seen aspirants telling that I'm doing this because my parents have said to do so. But whether if we just ponder whether they really have interest or not, that's a big question mark. But they are like doing this for the sake of like peer pressure or like parental pressure. What's your take on that, sir? Do you think because like you come into civil service preparation just for your parents, will that work in the longer run or not? What's your take on that, sir?
Okay, parents will surely show you the way. So I think that is not a bad thing per se. That I joined. Once you have joined, then you should dedicate yourself and give a sincere try. Okay, it's not like everybody will clear civil service or not, but the journey of the preparation per se. I have seen candidates once they fall into that trap, they enjoy the process of preparation itself.
Yes, yes, right.
And it's a very good foundation for any other sphere. Even if they leave civil service middle way for whatever reason, or they couldn't make it, this foundation will never go waste in their lifetime. So I have seen many of my friends who have studied with me in coaching institutes or prepared, who have got that foundation, are now doing very well either in banking sector or in business or whatever sphere they have taken up. There are thousand avenues to do, and joining a coaching institute and getting exposed to this because parents have said is not at all a bad idea. If that is something which has shown you the way, then you should give a sincere try. That is all is my opinion. Okay, you may succeed, but this is never a waste. That
Sure,
much I can
sure.
be sure. Like preparing
Sure.
for a civil service exam is never a waste per se in your life. That 2 years or 3 years which you have spent, and you don't make it to civil service, you can trust me that that period will be the best period in your life.
Yes, yes. Sure, sir. Sure, sir. I can like really connect to what you're telling because like I've been in this for 6 years, so I'm like very well able to connect what you're telling,
Yeah.
sir. And like the next question is, I think like we both must have had a lot of interactions with Ganesh sir like during our aspirant stage. And one thing what sir often tells is he tells that civil service exam is a personality based exam. That more than like the knowledge that you gain, you have to develop your personality to like crack this exam. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, like linking this and your previous question, no? Like if you have just taken it because of somebody else has told you, from there your personality starts. Okay, I got exposed to it, then comes your personality, how much you are into it. Okay, do you want to get out of it or go through that process? From then on, your personality gets tested. How you prepare for the exam. It's a more preparation itself, I feel, is a personality test. Okay, the 3 hours of exam may be your performance test on that day, how you perform, but the entire process of preparation, running through that 1 year, if you're like successful itself, it takes 1 year, prelims, mains and interview put together. So sustaining that for 1 year, okay, leaving all other extracurricular activities to the back, and then focusing on this. There will be a lot of distraction. If I'm saying in 99 now, I think in 2024 there are more distractions than this. Okay, how you get rid of that? Okay, and there will be social compulsions, family compulsions, a peer group. So the entire process of sticking on to the process till the end, till that result is a personality test. In that, I feel studying for few hours or performing during the exam per se, that might be a performance test. On that day, how you perform, how fast you are, how quick you are, how analytical you are. But the rest of the period is completely your personality test. Apart from that, I think UPSC also has a portion called personality test. If you reach that stage itself, I feel that your 90% of your personality you are already cleared. That is only to evaluate amongst the candidates, and you can debate on that. But there has to be some criteria to evaluate people, so that portion is kept as personality test. But take it from me, the entire process of the civil service is a personality test.
Yes, sir.
You may quit at any stage. That itself shows how much resilience you have, to fight it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, and like one more thing, what I wanted to ask is, uh, I think I'm sure that like being an aspirant, like how I have seen my progresses, I might have had a naive idea before entering into the civil service, and then I might have learned a lot of things. I might have like groomed myself, and then before there is a transition between that, like being an aspirant and being a bureaucrat. There is definitely a transition that's going to happen within our personality. So, in this transition phase, what do you think is the role of a coaching institute or mentoring or the mentor that we got? I think we both have got the best mentors, Ganesh sir. So, what do you think is the role of a coaching institute or a mentor in transforming the personality of the candidate from being an aspirant to being a bureaucrat?
Yeah. So as long as you are aspirant, I think the most important skill you need is how you handle failure. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Once you become a successful candidate, then you need to know how to handle your success. Okay. And the first part, actually, the mentor plays a very great role. The institute, the individual course director or the teacher, whomsoever you affiliate to, and then your peer groups, they will ensure that they are with you when you are in the process of failure or you are in the process of selection. So there are various requirements for various people. Some need help in literally the subject understanding. Some just need guidance on like what to focus on. You have to only show them the way. Okay, in those days itself, our popular talk would be like, no, we should know what we should not read for UPSC.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
just don't
Yes.
get carried away and keep reading everything just because you can read or you enjoy or you can afford. So the coaching institute clearly tells you, no, this is the path, and like here you are deviating. In that sense, I think I don't see a better mentor than Ganesha, who himself has gone through this process. And those times our batches were very very small, and so we used to have very close interactions. Okay,
Yes.
it's like one-on-one interactions. Largely, that's what. As long as you are an aspirant, I think coaching institute is must. I have seen few candidates who have given some interviews and all saying without coaching institute, the materials are available YouTube or online and all the stuff. But I feel like when you drive a car or a co-driver is always an enjoyable journey.
Yes. Yes.
They may not drive, they cannot drive, but they will guide you, about the route, about the location, all whatever trouble you have. And even if you don't have any trouble also, you will enjoy with the passenger. So in that angle, I think coaching institute, somebody should not avoid if they can afford, no?
Okay.
And especially a physical coaching institute will give you a lot of comfort during that preparation period.
Okay. Thank you. Sir, can you just add on just a few points? Can you just tell us what aspirants can expect from the coaching centers?
Yeah, that's what. First, fundamentally, one is you should know the rules of the game. Okay, UPSC, that is the trick. If you go by the syllabus and the examination, it looks quite simple. But the experience which, for especially say Ganesha and all has, they will be able to clear cut tell you like what is the key areas you should focus on and keep interacting about whether you are on the right track. That's all they can do. They cannot literally make you or run along with you. They will clearly help you at each stage, and the more you use them rather than they offering as a material or something, you should use that infrastructure or the availability of staff. Keep interacting, like without deviation. That is the main thing I feel in a civil service program. Otherwise the content, the syllabus, all those are well documented, and there are books and study material. You can hear it on YouTube, whatever. But coaching institute will clearly keep your exams, your practice exams, interactions with other student. That adds value to
Okay.
your preparation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, and the next thing is, we have three stages of exam: prelims, mains, and interview. So, like, what, according to you, is the transition of the aspirant in between those three stages? Like, because I have personally felt that, like, being a prelims candidate, and being a mains candidate, and being an interview candidate to becoming a bureaucrat, I think there is a huge transition in these 3, 4 phases. So, what can you, like, if at all, you can share your personal experience? What
Yeah,
are
so
your
my
yeah,
take on it is a bit different. Maybe the last 15 days, the style of preparation changed for, say, prelims or mains or interview. Until then, it is the basic fundamental preparation which keeps on going. Okay, because the performance for prelims is a totally different. It used to be fast, and then how quickly you solve and those things. So you keep practicing that, but the content is the same. The material you have to read is the same. You cannot just change the preparation model. Get ready for the, like, say, a Tendulkar for a match. How you will prepare if it's the World Cup or whatever. His preparation is going to be the same at the nets. On the day of execution, there is going to be a different. He knows today what is the game and what is the required, what will decide whether he is winning or not, who is the opponent. All those, it is on that. So maybe last 1 month is also good enough. I feel for prelims or mains to change your preparation just for specifically for that particular thing. Otherwise, the basic preparation should be the same. Similarly, for the interview, maybe a few mock interviews or that at the last stage will help you, because there also you cannot literally change your personality. It only gives you confidence in case you are lacking in facing the board, or certain personality, your personal questions you want to rehearse. So those things you can do, but otherwise you can never predict an interview board. You can predict maybe a prelims question or a mains question, but interview is like interaction. You interact and then it may lead you somewhere else. So how will you interact? So I think that every day as a part of your preparation, you should keep interacting and with the candidates, other candidates. This kind of debates and discussions will get reflected in your personality test.
okay, sir. Okay.
They are not going to see the answer per se. How you answer is what they are going to see. The content
Okay.
of the answer they might be knowing for all the questions which they are asking, and they're only going to see how you are tackling that situation. That's all.
Okay, sir. Okay.
That's why it is termed as a personality test rather than an interview.
Okay, sir. Okay. So basically, you're telling that the core personality remains the same, except that just before each stage, like the way we orient ourselves, like differs. So that's the crux you're telling.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, and like I've heard that like you've given this exam like 2 times. Like once you were successful, and the next time you couldn't make it. So even like I've been there last year. Like I gave like in fact like I've given 3 interviews, and I was able to make it to the list only once. So I think the two fields, the field that we have, the ones like when we don't see our name in the final list, and when we see our name in the like final list, a lot of emotions and a lot of difference actually like happens. So what do you see is the difference between a recommended candidate and a non-recommended candidate? It's what is actually bridging those. What is actually the gap between a recommended candidate and a non-recommended candidate?
Yeah, fortunately, for me, the sequence was opposite, so I didn't have
Yes.
much emotional issue. In the sense, I first faced success, then maybe the second time the failure.
Yes.
And I won't call it a failure per se, because no, I was not very say sincere in my second attempt as my first attempt at least. But I have gone through many candidates. So see, there is nothing called successful or not. You have to see this as a competitive exam. So a lot more factors are there. There is the number of vacancies that year, the roster, all those things, and then the thing. But I think if you are good in your mains, and you have made it to the interview, you can consider yourself. My take is that as a successful candidate. Okay. Now
Yes.
comes okay. How to improve on that the next year? There cannot be much difference. You'll have to repeat the same effort, same thing.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
there are a lot of other factors which are not in your control to get into that list. I'm not saying it as luck or something. Okay, you will never be able to identify. This was the one reason. Like this one question in mains had I written differently. So next year it will be like three such questions. You may not be
Yes.
doing it well, or such a question may never come. So how you tackle that failure or not successful, that will show you the way for the next attempt. Okay, so per se, but if you are not able to make it to the mains, then I think you need to put in a lot of effort and see the course correction. I'm not saying it is about your ability or this thing. Then there are some skills which are specifically needed for a UPSC mains exam that you will have to undergo regular practice, or go to a mentor, keep practicing, because mains is something I don't know, this generation might be further lacking. It's a descriptive answer, a lot more analytical skills are needed.
Yes.
So there are various techniques to crack that. Every topper would give a different, because they will tell what they did. Okay, but why the evaluator gave the marks, that only the evaluator knows. But you can grasp what are the good points and try it out, which suits you. You will not be able to do. Like, you will not be able to write an answer like what I write or somebody else write.
Yes.
Okay, so it is only the skills or the tricks which they are saying. Some might be using more facts and figures, some might be very analytical. So whatever you write is, if it is coherent and justifiable, you will get through that. But once you get through the mains process, I feel you should consider yourself as a successful candidate. And I have seen many candidates, who are very very confident once they make it to the first interview, and especially if they make it in the first attempt, then they keep cracking prelims and mains as a routine thing. Then it's just a matter of time uh,
Okay.
to get into that successful list.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, when you in your answer you were mentioning that this in the previous answer you mentioned that this exam itself, being in the process itself, requires a lot of resilience, and there are a lot of uncontrollable factors in the exam. To make it to the finalist, there are a lot of uncontrollable factors. But in case if we don't make it at any stage, say for instance, I didn't clear my mains for 4 consecutive times, and like again I have to give, because that's going to take a huge mental toll on like the aspirant. So what according to you is needed to, like, once we fail in one stage, and what according to you is needed to again bounce back and be in the game again with the same spirit?
Yeah, I personally feel you should always have a plan B and plan C. There is nothing wrong. Like some might say, no, full dedication only with single this thing. I don't look at it that way, because this is a competitive exam. Okay, so you have a plan B. From there also you can move on. I have seen people who are working and then making it to civil service in the first attempt. In corporate job, 18 hours a day, still making it. People who have struggled, they were doing some hardcore job in a hotel or those kind of thing also. So always from plan B, you can keep this dream open. So
Yes.
because your social compulsions, your personal compulsions might be there. Why to hang on to that? You can get rid of all those things. If you have an economical problem, your family wants you to go for a job, you can still go and then do it also. It is not like, it's lucky if you can fully dedicate. Okay, but the if, amount of pressure you get on a failure or not being successful is enormous if you are fully into this. Okay, after one or two attempts per se, you can think of plan B, plan C. And plan B and plan C are not like very bad. There are various other government jobs or other jobs where you will get ample time to prepare or take up a higher studies per se. For example, engineering graduate, he can pursue his MBA rather than living it. Then his horizons will open. Okay, he might make it easier in his next attempt, because of his next level of graduation. There is a complete change in personality once you are undergraduate to a postgraduate. Not the course content itself, that process of doing that post graduation will mold you into that. Okay, so I feel always have a plan B and plan C, and don't term this as a failure per se, because it's a competitive exam. It's not a, it depends on the number of vacancy and that year who is competing, and what is the parameters that year the government has set for setting the paper. A lot more factors are there. That's why I kept saying, if you crack the mains, you consider yourself, you are successful. And if you want to move on to a better career or better option which suits you, then nothing like you should move on to the other option and keep trying if your time on this permits. Like I've seen people seven attempts into this with no plan B, then start plan B. It's not so much worth it.
Okay, okay, sir. Okay, fine, sir. I get it, sir. And like as I was listening to you, I think we share one more similarity. The similarity is like both of us have given one attempt extra even after getting service. So you've got postal service and you've given the exam again, and I've got forest service and even like I'm giving the exam again. So like, can you like give some insights about what is driving candidates even after getting into service? What is driving candidates to like give the exam once again, like for a better service or like
Okay.
for a different purpose
So
altogether?
okay, nowadays I think it may be the same now also. The first attempt results will come the previous day of the prelims. So of your next attempt. So you will have to invariably apply for the next attempt when you have finished your mains itself. In
Yes,
October itself we'll have to apply. So there is nothing like sure shot I'm getting or leaving like that. So we invariably will apply. Okay. And then that's what I told. Once you crack your mains, so it will give you a confidence that it's only a matter of time. Why not give it another try? Because the effort needed is very very less compared to your first attempt when you crack your mains. Then
yes,
people seamlessly get through prelims and mains. Yeah, that bare minimum effort is needed, but I'm not saying without any preparation you can go, but it is not as tough as your first time when you clear your mains.
yes,
So
yes,
why not give it a try? That is the option. And then
yes,
people have made it also. And I also feel it is worth if you have time and energy to think. Personally, I feel, the 1 year process, had it been very, very less or they reduced it, I would have given more tries. Because again, wait for 1 year prelims, then all your personal life, all other activities have to be put on hold,
yes,
say
yes,
your marriage, your family commitments, or all other things which you are already stopped for various reasons. Now, after service, the pressure will be more now.
yes, sir, yes, sir. Right.
Okay. And you cannot do justice to your current service also, nor this also. I think nowadays they give leave and other things also, but it will be always like 1 foot here, 1 foot there.
Okay, sir.
So there is no harm in giving a try.
Okay, sir. So just you were telling that the exam process itself is like one full year, and like very often, like we have seen even in the news reports, also in the aspirant community, that this examination pattern needs some changes. So we come across those arguments like frequently. So like, do you think that like from your perspective, how far is the current examination process in line with the administrative demands?
Okay. So to answer it straight, this examination process is only to filter out the candidates, and from
Yes,
among the candidates, select somebody who they think is a potential to be groomed. So your entire thing for to fit into administration starts after you pass your exam. 3 months in Masuri FC, you will be allowed to freak out. After that, the real process of conversion into a bureaucrat happens in their respective departments and other things. So this exam is more criteria to filter out candidates and find the best fit. There are two things. One is I said the time can be reduced, but there is a disadvantage that then the more serious or it won't be more inclusive. Like there may be candidates who are from a rural background and other things who need lot more time for the preparation between various stages also. Okay. And once you remove the mains, which takes a considerable time because it's a descriptive paper, evaluation, all those only consumes. Otherwise, they can shorten the prelims and the interview. But it's like a test match. Okay, you make it T20, then I don't see quality always will be there. You will see very good performance on that day getting into that. So
Yes, sir.
somewhere to bring in that element of a test match into that, I think we'll have to stick to this 1 year period or these 3 stages of examination.
Okay,
We
sir.
can
Okay.
try to reduce it further, maybe 6 months or 9 months. Then it's okay. But the number of subjects, number of optional that various times they keep modifying based on the income. That is only to filter out other issues in the process. Not per se that they're looking at like somebody who has cleared this is a ready-made fit to the administration. After that, the molding happens. Then I have seen many candidates who are done well in UPSC exam but not a good bureaucrat. Those are not done well or made it to through a lot of struggle have done very very well in their career. It's
Okay,
a
sir.
totally a different ball game after you join the service.
Okay, sir. I think you've given me a new perspective, sir, because like even I used to be bothered a lot about this 1 year cycle of UPSC. But I think the point that you gave that like rural students need some time to prepare themselves for the each stage of exam. I think that's a whole new perspective. So I think I'll take that as like something
The
very special.
candidates who have that personality of long-term resilience and say quality, they
Yes,
may
sir.
not be able to click on that particular day. That's all.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right, right, right. Yes, sir. That's a whole new perspective. So thank you for that, sir. I think that will be the biggest takeaway for me. I think I still have like a few more questions, sir. So
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
yes, sir. So so how does like becoming a bureaucrat change one's life? So how is it? How is like your life as a bureaucrat different from your a friend who's like being in a like a IT job or a like a normal work or a industry or a manufacturing or service sector? How does like being a bureaucrat change your life, and how is it different from the life of our friends who are like not into bureaucracy?
Yeah, so once you get selected, no, again it is your personality, how you take that particular position which is being offered to you. You see it as a job or you see it as a position or power or authority. All those matters. Okay, so personally I feel it gives you that cushion to excel. Okay, because you are given ample opportunities in whatever service you are there, to make a change in people's life or in that particular sphere. Apart from that, as a career also, you have a lot more avenues to go abroad, you to study or excel in a particular domain within that service. So as a career option, I think this gives you that cushion, like you, you can pursue whatever you want to pursue apart from your routine job which you are supposed to do as an administrator. Okay. And coming to the pay and perks, I think after the seventh pay commission and all, it's a considerably decent pay compared to the market. And all your basic requirements are taken care of in most of the services. You have a good place to stay, the staff quarters or something, or you have a vehicle or other amenities to take care of you. I don't see anything else which changes your life. Personal life is taken care of.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah, honest bureaucrat himself can be very very comfortable in the current setup, and you can pursue whatever you want to pursue. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
There are see first 8 years or say 10 years where you will be in the field in whatever service you are. Like you will be exposed in the sense you will be a collector, you will be an SP, or you will be a SSP in our parlance, or assistant commissioner, who will be at the cutting edge or with the thing. After that, you will slowly move on to policy making and the backside of the thing, which is much more qualitative and this thing. That is more a implementation job. So by then, as your age progresses, also you'll have a lot more time to pursue your own personal interest and other academics also. It's a full-fledged career option, not like any other job. Like you don't have to look for like next should I move on to another job, or postings may vary, the roles may vary, but the basic comfort and the facilities continue. So
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And what do you think is do you think civil services as such is still relevant in development, sir? See, because we have a lot of on one side we have a lot of lateral entrants, and they're like calling for specialists, a lot of specialists into the service, and at the same time we can see civil services is like something very very relevant. So How do you see this, sir? Do you think civil services is still relevant for development, or like is its role is changing in the contemporary times?
Okay, we can debate that lateral entry part, but I think lateral entry is another mode of augmenting the civil service. That's how the government is looking. Civil service is there to stay.
Okay,
Okay,
sir. Okay.
there was one mode of entry through UPSC. Okay, there is now one more mode called a lateral entry. Otherwise, also in our service or any other service, we hire consultant. We hire, if there are some technical nature of job. Railways also hires consultant or executors for that specific project, so there is no harm in getting that. So I don't think, as long as there is something called a government, the civil service will continue, or its relevance will continue. The mode of recruitment intake, the composition might vary. So if there are not many takers for a career option as a bureaucrat, people want to be in the corporate sector but want to take off for 5 years and contribute. If you closely look at the UIDA and all, Aadhaar journey and all, you will see a lot of people who contributed in that are people from the corporate sector, but who dedicated 5 to 10 years of their life, to contribute to the nation, by building some infrastructure based on technology, which is now yielding results. So I think civil service as a career option is still open, and I think it will continue. As I initially told, it's a big canvas, so I think no other job per se can compete with this. Okay, but it
Okay.
doesn't mean that everybody, or not getting into civil service is like a failure or not. There are other avenues also to pitch in to the government sector.
Okay, sir. Okay. So just one last question. So if at all you want to tell the aspirants who are like watching this that civil service is a good go-to career option, so what would that be? If at all you want to reason out like why civil service is a good career option, what would that be?
Yeah, as I kept telling in during this course of interview,
Yeah.
I have personally not come across anything else as a career per se. Maybe agriculture would be a better career. It's a lifelong plan. All others
Yeah.
are a job. So today you excel in Java, Python, or whatever, and then IT, for example, that is one, or into banking. All those are jobs. Okay, and you can move on with your role definition might change, your pay package may change. But once you understand the term career per se, I don't think there are other career options per se available. Even a sports person, or who is excelling in a sports, for example, after their peak is over, they look for a career option. Okay. Career is something which they should enjoy for the lifelong, at least till the age of 60. I don't see any other career option per se available, which comes through an exam or other things. If you can build your own business or a thing, that would be equally interesting, but I don't think everybody can afford to do that. So, which is being offered currently, I think civil service would be the best career option. It's a very straightforward exam, which is still transparent and open to everybody. So I think it's a easy access to get into the government sector at the highest level which they are offering.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So I
thank
think
you.
we have come to the end of the interview, and it was like a pleasure talking to you, sir. So I think I've got a lot of takeaways from you, and I'm sure that the aspirants also would take a lot of insights from you, and they would like continue in their civil service journey, sir. Thank you for interacting with us.
Thank you. Thank you. It was more enjoyable for me than you, I think. Huh? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.